Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. And it's that time again for another This Week's in Gaming video. And I have to say, this is actually setting up to be the busiest video that we've had, because yeah, we have got a whole load of bits to talk about. And I am going to start off with the bad news first. So we have had it announced over the last week that Microsoft are going to be increasing the price of the Xbox, or the whole Xbox range, and that's from consoles, accessories, and I mean, even games are going up as well. So let's jump over. I've managed to find a really good table over on Pure Xbox, and we'll see here. So I have got some of the original prices as well, but if we look like the Xbox Series X, for example, is going to be going up to £499. Originally, that was priced at $479, so it's a £20 increase, but even still, we are, what, 4 years into the console cycle, and all we're seeing at the moment is prices going up. Whereas if you think back to the PS2, for example, so by this point, I think the console started off at $299. Right, that might be dollars. I might be off on, but it might be dollars. But by sort of this time, you were looking at it at like $150 to $100 by this point in its life cycle. So yeah, it is really disappointing at the moment that all of the companies are essentially just upping their prices instead of lowering them. And it's all down to the US tariffs. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to offset the costs that they're going to be experiencing with the tariffs coming in. And instead of it focusing on the US market, which would essentially cripple their brands in the US, they're actually just spreading it across the whole world, which I don't agree with at all. I really don't. Obviously, these companies, so Sony, for example, obviously they've recently given a price increase to some of the PlayStation models. They're going to get hit quite heavily because a lot of their consoles are produced in China. And yeah, I'm glad that I've got the consoles now because I haven't got to worry about picking them up. But it's not looking good for when we get to like the next gen, and we're going to be looking at £800 consoles. So yeah, obviously I don't know that they're going to be £800, but the way that it's going, they're going to be massively expensive. And if you think, when Sony first announced the PS3, I think the 60 gig model was what, $599? I can quite easily see it coming out at $599, like the PS6, and maybe even higher. But yeah, so as you can see, if we look, we've got the Series X 2TB Galaxy Black Special Edition is £589, so nearly £600, and that was originally $549.99. So yeah, there's what, a £40 increase on that. And as I said, it is affecting the whole Xbox range. So we are seeing an increase for controllers as well. So here we go. We've got Xbox wireless controllers are going up to $59.99. No, sorry, there's no change on that. No change. Or no, the controllers are staying the same. Right, the Elite controllers. So I've got two screens up. I've got one website that's showing me current pricing. Elite controller Series 2 Core is $124.99 at the moment, and $124.99. So yeah, there's no actual change in those. I don't know why this table isn't showing that. But yeah, Xbox $80 prices are ridiculous, adding even more value to Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, as I say, that's a separate article, but it is being chatted that Xbox or Microsoft have already said that some of their core first-party games are going to be going up to $80. So what's that? That's about 70 odd quid. So yeah, it isn't looking good, and it's really I'm just really disappointed the fact that all of the consoles, the hardware, and everything is just going up in price. So yeah, I can't. I mean, I've said all I can say on that. As I say, I think it's very disappointing the fact that all these companies are essentially penalising all gamers and not reevaluating the way that they operate. Because there's going to be plenty of places that these companies can set up. I think Nintendo did it. Where was it? Was it Cameroon that Nintendo set up to produce consoles that went over to the US to avoid tariffs being imposed that were imposed on China? And yeah, I don't understand why Sony and Microsoft can't do the same thing. Even sort of move it to not necessarily somewhere that's going to have no tariffs, but low tariffs. Yeah, so yeah, a bit disappointing there, but as I say, that is what it is. I do have to say though, everything else that we've got to cover today is all gonna be good news, and I think we are gonna finish on probably the best news that I have heard in such a long time. But moving on, we are technically going to stay with Xbox. And yeah, we're going to be talking a bit more about this Everything is Xbox, because there's actually been an announcement put out, and this announcement actually come from PlayStation. And that is that Gears of War Reloaded is coming to PS5 on August 26th. On August 26th this year. So this is a remake version of the first Gears of War games. First Gears of War game. And yeah, for the very first time ever, this is going to be on PlayStation console. And we can actually jump over. There is already a PlayStation Store page for it. So you'll see here, it releases on the 26th of August, 2025 at 3 p.m. GMT. Yeah, I will be honest. It's not a game that I'm going to rush out and buy because I pretty much I've got all of the Gears of War games across both Xbox 360 and Xbox One. So yeah, I will stick with them. But what the big news with this isn't actually centered around Gears of War, and that is around the next game that Microsoft are going to be announcing, because there's a lot of speculation. Obviously, the fact that PlayStation have just dropped this as a Twitter post that Gears of War's coming means that there's probably something big on the horizon. So the fact that this just got a Twitter post instead of being featured in one of the PlayStation presentations, a lot of people are speculating that potentially in the next PlayStation presentation, we could be seeing Halo. So, yeah, that I will admit, obviously, Forza Horizon is already out on the PlayStation. I will admit, I only found that out within the last couple of days. But yeah, that is already out on PlayStation. Gears of War has now been announced. A lot of people are speculating that we will see Halo come in the next PlayStation presentation. So yeah, really, really excited about that. Obviously, it makes me question quite a bit, because Microsoft are... The vibes I'm getting is that Microsoft are deciding to move away from hardware. So will we actually get a next-gen Xbox? Because I know I mentioned this in the video that I put out on, was it Monday or Saturday? Saturday's video last week. I'll put a link up to it about the death of video games. And in that, I was talking about future predictions, that way I see the console market going. And when I was talking about the Xbox, obviously we had the Brooklyn leak last year, which was meant to be the Xbox One mid-cycle refresh. which obviously now got replaced with the 2 terabyte Galaxy Xbox One, Xbox Series X, sorry. But I'm getting more and more convinced that we won't actually see Microsoft bring out a physical hardware console, and the Xbox will essentially become a platform, a bit like Steam, but not. You don't download them to a device; it's all streamed. So yeah, I do. I really think that Microsoft are going to go all in with the streaming and basically not worry about a physical hardware console. So yeah, we will see. I'll keep my ears to the ground. As soon as we hear anything, I will let you all know. But we are going to stay with PlayStation. So I'm kind of sort of keeping the articles linked in today. So yeah, there is a bit of structure to the madness today. So the next story we're going to be looking at is another one based from Sony. And once again, it is absolutely brilliant news because Sony have announced that they are opening a new studio. So Team LFG, welcome Team LFG to the PlayStation Studio family. And yeah, hello world. It is a delight to meet you, and we're very grateful to be joining Sony Studios. And I think when we will make immersive multiplayer worlds propelled by action games that players can learn, play, and master for countless hours. We want to build our games with our community, inviting players to be part of our development process through early access playtests. It's critical that we stay nimble enough to react to players' feedback, not just in the lead up to launch, but throughout live service, as we continue to grow games as a community for years to come. So, yes, it is amazing that we're getting a new studio, but I am a bit disappointed that they are going to be focusing on live service games. The sooner we get out of this live service phase that we're in, the better, because yeah, I am not a fan of live service games, never have been, never will be, and yeah, it is just the sooner we can get shot of it, the better. But yeah, as I say, it is absolutely, I'm over the moon to hear that we're getting a new studio and that we're not hearing about another studio being closed down. So yeah, absolutely amazing news that. And yeah, it's something that I saw pop up. Then next up, we are going to be looking at an article that was published on Xbox Wire. And I'm only going to be taking snippets from this article, just focusing on one bit in particular. And this is an exclusive interview with Ed Anna. I have no idea how to pronounce that. So he is one of the guys behind Ecco the Dolphin. And yeah, there was a couple of questions that they posed to him, but one is probably the most important, and it is what is the future of the Ecco the Dolphin series. So we'll see here, what does the future hold for gaming's favourite dolphin? Me and the entire original team are going to remaster the original Ecco the Dolphin and Tides of Time games. We'll then make a new third game with contemporary play and GPU sensibilities. Stay tuned to EchoTheDolphin.com. So yeah, it looks like we are going to be getting two Ecco the Dolphin remasters and also a brand new game. Now, personally, I am not a fan of Ecco the Dolphin games. I have got both. I think I've got 3 of them in the collection. I think I've got 2 Mega Drive ones and the Dreamcast one. But well, I'll tell you a lie. I say I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan when I was younger playing it on the Mega Drive, but recently, when I've picked it up for the collection and played it to capture footage for the channel, I've actually enjoyed it so much more. It is so chill, and I actually yeah, I'm going to take back my original statement about not being a fan because, yeah, I think playing it now as an adult, I much more enjoy it. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting older and older at the moment because I am constantly seeking out chilled games. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing that they're going to be remastering them. And obviously, Sega are on a massive push at the moment to try and revitalise a lot of their older franchises. So we've had them announce that there is going to be a whole raft of remakes from sort of Jet Set Radio, Shinobi. Now looking like we're going to see Ecco the Dolphin as well. Crazy Taxi, I think, is another one that we're due to hear about soon. And then obviously from video a couple of weeks ago, we found out that there is plans for an Outrun movie. I'll be honest, I am a massive fan of Outrun, but I am really not optimistic about the film, especially when you hear that Michael Bay might be directing it. I'm just like, no, please God, no. But yeah, the fact that we are going to be potentially seeing Ecco again could be good. And the fact as well, they do also, I did actually jump on to the EccoDolphin.com, and if I switch back to the other screen, this is basically the website at the moment. So we've got a countdown timer. And at the moment, the countdown timer is for 349 days time. So potentially, just under a year. So this time next year, we could potentially know what we're going to be seeing. Hopefully, it's at least the announcement of the remake of Ecco the Dolphin, or the remaster of Ecco the Dolphin. But yeah, we're not going to know. We'll probably. I'll keep my eye out. Hopefully, there'll be some more information trickle out. As I say, Sega are on a big push at the moment to revitalise a lot of their older franchises. So yeah, fingers crossed. Then next one. So actually, this might deviate from my story about it all being good news. It's not bad news for the gamers. But it is bad news for a company, and that is Nintendo has re-entered the courtroom. So the company that leaked Switch 2 is being sued by Nintendo, and yeah, Genki, who are a accessory manufacturer, actually leaked the Switch 2 mock-up. I can't remember how far in advance it was, but it was at their booth at CEX. And yeah, Nintendo are going full hog. So we'll see here. Remember when Genki Accessories, makers behind product like Shadowcast, blah 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 blah. There you go. Showed off a mock-up of the Switch 2 at CEX earlier this year, stealing a march on Nintendo's official unveiling. As well as it turns out, Nintendo itself wasn't too thrilled at the surprise being ruined and is taking Genki to court. In the documents spotted by Oatmeal Dome, Nintendo claims that Genki demonized and promoted unauthorized purported mock-ups and renderings of the Switch 2 and its accessories, infringing on its trademarks. And I know that Nintendo are going for a whole raft of things. It was like breach of copyright, sort of market manipulation. There was like 4 or 5 different things that Nintendo are actually going after them for. So yeah, as I say, Nintendo are one of the most litigious companies out there when it comes to anything. So yeah, it's disappointing that they've done it, but do we expect anything less? But we did get a response from Genki. You may have seen that Nintendo recently filed a lawsuit against us. We're taking it seriously and working with legal counsel to respond thoughtfully. What we can say is this: Genki has always been an independent company focused on building innovative gaming accessories for the community we love. We're proud of the work that we've done, and we stand by the quality and originality of our products. While we can't comment in detail, we're continuing preparations to fulfill orders and showcase our newest products at PAX East this week. We're grateful for the overwhelming support we've received so far. We'll share more info when we can, but for now, we're staying focused on doing what we do best, building gear for gamers. So, yeah, it's a bit of a sort of a he said, she said. Yes, they shouldn't have leaked the Switch 2 design or sort of had mock-ups or anything like that. Equally, I think Nintendo are going OTT, but that is another way to spell Nintendo is over the top. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame that they're going down this route. I'll be honest, it doesn't make Nintendo look good, but as we've seen recently, they're not doing a lot to make themselves look good. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame. But moving on from that, we're getting back to the happy stuff. And this week, there has been a raft of GTA 6 news. So first off, we had the release of the new Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. So yeah, we had a basically trailer 2 release. But that was in response to some bad news. The fact that the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6 has been pushed back to the 6th of May 2026. And yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm not surprised, but we'll get into, there's some rumours floating about online as to why they've done it. But what I will say with the trailer, it went live, I think it was a couple of days ago. And looking at it today, it's already at 78 million views on YouTube. So yeah, it is by no stretch of the imagination not doing well. But yeah, the trailer itself actually is focusing more on the male protagonist this time. But yeah, I'll be honest, I will get excited once we start seeing gameplay. I think at the moment we're constantly seeing the sort of CG trailers, and yeah, I would just like to see what the game is actually going to look like. But getting back to the rumours about why this delay has happened. So there are 2 rumours floating around online, and actually what I didn't do, I'm not going to worry about it for now, but obviously Rockstar did actually post on Twitter an announcement. I think it was the day before this trailer dropped, that obviously the GTA 6 release date had been pushed back, and they're sort of hinting the fact that it was never intended to release this year, and it was always intended to release next year, and blah 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 blah. But yeah, and that was the big one. That was the big one that they said. They're pushing it back because they don't want to put the staff working on the game under any undue pressure or heavy crunch or anything like that. Total rubbish. I'm sorry, I am calling rubbish on that one. But there, as I say, there are some rumours going about as to why they've potentially put it back, and some people have said it is to basically rework some of the content in the game to remove sort of woke topics and things like that. But yeah, it could potentially be because Rockstar, because of the investment that Rockstar are put into this. I think at the moment, some of the rumoured costings for this game are hovering around the $2 billion mark, which is absolutely eye-watering. But Rockstar are going to do anything they can to mitigate any risks around this game. So they want it to be a success. And to be quite honest, I think regardless of what happens, it will be a success. I have but no doubt in my mind that GTA 6 is going to sell absolutely mental. More, I think, is going to make Grand Theft Auto 5 look like a piece of shovelware on the Nintendo Wii. but I think Rockstar are a bit worried, and they're trying to sort of mitigate risk. So, yeah, some of the rumours are sort of floating around that they are basically going to de-woke the game. But there's also other rumours that are floating around that they have delayed it, based around the price. So there's been a lot of conversation online that Rockstar are planning to release GTA 6, sorry, with $100 price tag. And yeah, that will be that. I'll be honest, that will really make me consider as to whether I buy it or not. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, that essentially will make it probably 85 an £85 game, 75, £80, something like that. I haven't got the exact figure in my head at the moment, but yeah, so Rockstar have delayed the game to basically next year in the hopes that the $100 price tag will become more palatable because all the other companies are upping their prices. So obviously we saw basically Nintendo with the Switch 2 dropping Mario Kart 8 at the $80 price tag. We've now seen rumours that Xbox are going to be following suit with their first party games. And yeah, I think we're just going to see more and more companies are now going to be dropping games at that $80 price tag, pushing it to 90. And then, as I say, Rockstar are going to aiming to hit that $100 price tag, which yeah is absolutely sickening. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, out of those two rumours, I would say it's probably more the price tag side that I'm leaning against. But equally, it could be either or, it could be both. But yeah, GTA 6 has been delayed until next year. As I say, I'm sitting here saying now, oh, well, if it's $100, I might not get it and everything like that. But I think I will. I mean, regardless of what happens, I am going to pick up Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm sorry. I think the only time that I won't is if they make it all digital. If they make it all digital, then I will suck it up, Buttercup, and I will not pick it up. Which I am really hoping they're not. But we'll see. I guarantee, though, it will, even if they do a physical release, there'll be a massive day one patch. And yeah, it will basically be unplayable off the disc without that patch. And then the final story for today is the one that I am absolutely over the moon about. And that is that potentially we could be seeing something that no one in the gaming community ever thought possible. Valve could have finally learned how to count to 3. Yes, it is unbelievable. You think a 4-year-old can count past 3, but no, Valve couldn't. But yeah, there has been an article dropped by Eurogamer, and it is around Half-Life 3. And we'll see here the first line. Half-Life 3 is not just in development, but is now playable end to end. So there is a Halo 3. There is a Half-Life 3 gamer out there. And even better, so that is according to a Valve insider, Tyler McVitter, who posits the eagerly anticipated sequel could be announced as early as this summer, Q3, with a possible release before the end of 2025, probably winter Q4. We've already had strong evidence, no specific commitment, that Valve is once again working on a new major Half-Life project of some kind, codenamed HLX, with a trustworthy report last summer detailing demanded assets and code snippets, backing up a leak from an actor likely involved. If this gets confirmed and announced in the summer, that's for me, nothing else is happening this year in gaming. And yeah, I will be absolutely over the moon to see the third Half-Life. And then hopefully, even then, just being that little bit more greedy, I will just be hoping that then, now that Valve has learnt to counter free, we might just, very, very just, get a Portal free, which for me is literally the only game I ever need. Yeah, I absolutely love Portal, and if I had to pick between Half-Life and Portal, my preference always goes to Portal, because yeah, I absolutely love those games. And yeah, hopefully we are going to be seeing a new Half-Life this year. That will be absolutely amazing. I will admit that regardless of what the cost is, and regardless of if it's digital or not, I'm hoping it's not going to be digital and it will be released on, it will have physical release on consoles, but regardless, I will be buying it on Steam. Straight off the bat, don't care, take my money, I will, I don't know, could this be an even bigger game than Grand Theft Auto 6? Probably not, but in the concept of the gaming community, yeah, this is the bigger piece of news that we could be seeing Half-Life 3. But yes, oh, what's it say here? Sorry, the game is not VR. Half-Life 3 is not a VR title. Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely over the moon. And yeah, really, I'm going to be really closely watching this now. And as soon as we see any more information on it, I will let you all know. But with that said, that is going to wrap up today's video. So if you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.